Welcome back to Informed Chronicles, where we cover brief recaps of Conversations with Pam, a bi-monthly Q&A symposium offered to members of Wellness Forum Health, hosted by Dr. Pam Popper, an internationally recognized expert on nutrition, medicine, and health. The most recent Conversations with Pam discussion covered a broad range of topics that you can read about in the Informed Chronicles newsletter at informedchronicles.com. But one topic that keeps coming up again and again, which stuck out to me, is this issue about whether or not to take a vitamin D supplement. This has been kind of a popular issue for the past 4 to 6 years, and many people are still trying to sort it out. When Pam opened up the discussion to the group, one member piped up with her question, raised her hand, said, Pam, I have a question. She said, I've listened to 3 or 4 doctors who all have good stuff to say, but they all believe it's important for me to be taking a vitamin D supplement. They tell me that this study shows it and that study shows it, and I don't really know what to do because I don't think I really need to be taking one. So Pam had a couple things to say about this. For one, she said she's very surprised that so many doctors tell their patients and general audiences that they need to be taking a vitamin D supplement, but they don't ever talk about actually going out into the sunshine. And as it turns out, the consequences of no sun exposure are pretty significant. So the first thing is this is why Wellness Forum Health is so focused on consumers being educated, because a doctor can be just wonderful in one area, for example, COVID treatment or reversal of type 2 diabetes. And although that doctor might be very knowledgeable and spot on even on that one topic, it doesn't necessarily make them reliable on other topics. And this is why it's so important to always check out the validity of the information or advice that you've been given. So the other thing Pam mentioned was that many times studies are cited that do actually show benefit. So these doctors were not lying to this member when they told her that supplementation with vitamin D is beneficial, but they were not necessarily controlling for confounding factors, and that's the issue. And an example of this is we know for certain that when people get sick, their vitamin D levels go down. There are hundreds upon hundreds of studies that actually show this. And because this happens with such a wide range of diseases, there are many experts in this area who say inflammation in the body due to sickness causes vitamin D levels to decrease. There are a lot of different hypotheses about why inflammation would lower vitamin D levels, but what we do know is that they go down when you're sick, and when you get well, they go right back up again. So let's take an example of a study cited to support supplementation with vitamin D. In this study, COVID patients were administered vitamin D while they were sick. These patients got better and their vitamin D levels increased. The question which remains is whether the vitamin D levels increasing made them better, or were they going to get better anyway and the vitamin D levels naturally rebounded as a result of the inflammation in their bodies going down. The confounding factor here would be the fact that we have hundreds and hundreds of studies that show reverse causation. Even though that's the confounding factor, the study doesn't take that into consideration. So I hope everybody follows me on this. And if you don't, feel free to comment in the section below. And I'll say one more thing about this. There's also this issue of statistical significance versus a clinically meaningful outcome. What that could mean is that the COVID patients recovered in 48 hours less time than the patients who didn't take vitamin D. But again, what you don't know is what the confounding factor in that case might be. First of all, it may not be statistically significant. If they were sick for a month and 2 days, getting well 2 days sooner doesn't make much of a difference at all. The second thing, again, is this issue of reverse causation, which is vitamin D levels dropping as a result of being sick. And some of these people in the study might have been sicker than others, and that would be another confounding factor to take into consideration. So if you have anything to add, please comment below or visit wellnessforumhealth.com to join the conversation. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.